I used to be plagued by debilitating panic attacks, and overwhelm and stress and burnout, and a lot. I had carried a lot of guilt and shame from that, of being like I can't pull myself off the couch to play with my daughters or be a invested husband. And luckily for me, my wife is amazing, and she was able to carry the household for 3 years. But the good thing that came out of that is I developed a ton of strategies to deal with these things and to heal yourself from them without having to use any type of pharmaceutical. And I thought I'd share today a really easy, cool breathing practice that you can do no matter where you are. If you're, because we don't have a control over when these panic attacks occur. You could be on the bus, you could be in a meeting, you could. One time I was watching I Think You Should Leave, and I was laughing so hard that spike in emotional energy triggered one of the worst panic attacks I've ever had. And then if you've ever gone through them, you know that the fear of when is the next one going to happen almost perpetuates the whole anxiety, and you end up getting more panic attacks. But I've talked about before the coherent breathing, which I absolutely love, but that does take a little more concentration than this one does, and it's super simple. Something I got from Buteyko style breathing, which I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. I've only ever read books on it, but it's simply just trying to breathe as slow as you can in and out through your nose. And it's like you want to get to the point where no one can even really tell that you're breathing. So there shouldn't be any sound. There shouldn't really be any noticeable movement with your chest or your stomach, even though over the course of the breath it is going to inflate. But it's inflating so slowly that someone watching you, an observer, they could tell when you're at the end of the breath and when you're fully at the end of an inhale, but they couldn't tell in between. And when you do that, at least when I do that, within a breath or two of just trying to go as slow and light as I possibly can, I can feel like saliva production increase in my mouth, which is like a sign of your nervous system switching from fight or flight back to parasympathetic, or your rest and digest. And like I said, it's one of those things that you can do anywhere without looking like a weirdo. You can be on a Zoom call. You could be walking down the street. You could be eating the food at the food court in the mall, if malls still exist where you are. So try that out, and I hope it helps you as much as it helped me, and I hope you end up feeling a little bit better.